but news broke about a church that archaeologists had uncovered in a community that they think may be the biblical town referenced as Bethsaida. Now, it's interesting that they're digging down, they uncovered some mosaics, and the reason why they're pretty sure they think it's a church is because in the mosaics there were some references. There was a reference to the church, its founding and its building of the building, and a reference to a bishop that may have served there, and there's some real excitement around this find because they believe that this could be, they're not sure, may never be sure, that this could be the building that was built on top of or at the place of Peter's home there in Bethsaida. They don't know that to be true. Could be Peter's home, could be Andrew's home, could be Philip's home. But we do know this, that what was there was a church, probably was active somewhere around 1,500 years ago. For years and years and years and years and years, generations now, the community that once thrived there has been lost. The buildings that once were prominent there have not only been reduced to ruins, but just time has covered over them with layers and layers of dirt. And even though archaeologists are excited to dig and discover and think about what this church may have been and who may have worshiped there, it's exciting to think about that. But the reality of it is that building no longer exists, that local congregation no longer exists, and it hasn't so long that that its place, that its existence has long been forgotten. I think that's a pretty helpful word for you and I today. There may come a day when this building no longer stands. There may come a day when this building no longer stands and time has marched on so long that there's not even any reference that it ever once was here. There may come a day when none of us are remembered, what we've done, what we did, or anything about our lives is remembered. There could come a day when Waycross no longer exists, when archaeologists of the future make some assumptions about, we think there was a town here and we found some buildings here. If those days come, this building no longer stands, nobody remembers who we were, Waycross is even forgotten about. What will remain in that day will be what remains today as well. The Church of Jesus, founded on the gospel of Jesus, gathered by Jesus, defined by Jesus, proclaiming the gospel of Jesus, being the testimony of the gospel in this world, it will remain. None of us remember the people of this archaeological find, but we identify with them because we're still preaching the same message they preached. We're still gathered by the same Jesus that gathered them. We're still doing the same thing that they did, believing in Jesus and faithfully walking in obedience to his commands. There is a connection between us and them, even though we don't know who they are, don't remember who they are, and will not know them until Jesus comes back and gathers us into heaven. The church, dear friends, remains. The church is prospered and sustained by the power of the living Christ. We are defined by Jesus. We are gathered by Jesus. We are sustained by Jesus to do the work of Jesus in this world. Dear friends, we don't put our efforts, our resources, our worries in the things of this world. We put our resources, our efforts, and our passions in the things of eternity. That is to proclaim the hope of Jesus to this generation and the next generation and every generation to come.